burned down, but
yeah, it burned down. When did it burn down?
I can't remember.
I think it must have been the 70s or something.
It was quite a while ago.
But the store used to be right here, straight ahead.
Right here, right in here.
And that was I understand that this small building where he used as his storeroom was originally the post office building, and that stood up until a couple months ago. They tore that down. And then you got the railroad trestle was right here.
Yep.
Now Kastner was the one that you said that he died in his own store.
Yeah, he starved to death.
In the store.
He sold groceries there, but he didn't feed himself well enough to survive.
So he died of like a malnutrition or something.
Yeah.
And he was the one that didn't his wife have like a heart attack or something, and he charged the guy that.
Bud Riddle was the milkman, and he had delivered milk to his store because he sold milk there. And Edson told him that his wife was sick upstairs, so he went up and checked her, and he come down and he said, I think we're going to have to call the emergency squad, because he said she's really not going to make it if you don't get that. So he got on.
Yeah.
Edson had a phone, so he gets on the phone, calls the emergency squad, and they came to pick her up. And when Bud Riddle left the store, Edson says, hey, wait a minute, you owe me for a phone call.
For his own wife.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Edson I used to go, I paid my mortgage for the Port Colin house.
Yeah, you bought the Port Colin house from him.
It was like something like $1,200.
Yeah.
So anyway.
When did you buy that from him?
It was about 1963 or somewhere.
So you bought the house I grew up in 1963 for $1,200.
I used to pay the mortgage here in the store. I'd go in there like once a month and make the payment on my mortgage. And when he'd get the mortgage, he had a pack of mortgages like this high. He must have had a dozen properties around that he sold, and the people were. He was holding mortgages on all of his properties.
Yeah, and he was charging everybody the most he could.
Well, not too bad. He was like 6%.
Yeah.
And when I went down with old Roy Eichland, because he knew Edson pretty good, and that Roy was living right where, right there next to.
Right next door in the corner on Main Street.
Yeah, he was right there where Roy Eichland.
Yeah.
Bought that off of. I don't know who he bought that one from, but.
Hang on a second.
I used to go to pay the mortgage, and when I first signed up to, he drew up the mortgage by hand. He didn't have a typewriter.
Yeah.
He drew it up and he put. He said to him, how much you want to pay? How much you want to pay a month for the rent or the mortgage? And I said, how about $70 a month? And he said, oh yeah, you'd better be careful. He said, you never know when you're going to run into trouble.
Yeah.
So then I said, well, how about 60? And he said, oh no, I don't think you should go that far out. And he finally got down to $35 a month, and he said, okay, $35 a month will be good.
Yeah.
And I paid it off over, I don't know, 10 or 11 years.
So
he only charged 6% interest, so it wasn't no big deal or nothing.
Yeah, but he made a little bit more on it that way, though.
He run it out longer, and he got more interest on it.
Yeah. So
it was amazing, because he kept telling me, no, don't pay too much. You might run into trouble financially, and
yeah.
And there, as I say, he had a stack of mortgages that high. He was bringing in a lot of money.
I'll bet.
And when he was getting really old and pretty near, it wasn't going to last too long, all of his relatives started coming to visit him.
Yeah.
So that they kept a relationship going, so that he would leave them more money.
Yeah.
And I think one of his relatives said they claimed stole a lot of money out of his office.
Really?
Yeah, somebody came in and without him knowing what was going on, they got away with quite a bit of cash.
That's too bad.
But he had, he kept the cash right there.
Yeah, he probably inherited a decent amount too, because according to some of the old pictures, it shows that this was a Kastner store going way back, and it says Eugene Kastner on that. So he must have been Eugene's son, or maybe even grandson.
No, I don't think he had any children.
Well, not Edson, but I mean Edson's father would have been Eugene.
Oh yeah.
Or grandfather.
Yeah.
Daddy.
Yes, Ev.
You have to look a trail.
Oh, that trail is getting overgrown over there now, though. This is where the graphite mill used to be, right here.
Yep.
And right over here is where the trestle used to be.
Yep.
Ev, Pop walked across this trestle way back. How old were you when you walked across where this was?
Probably about 12 years old.
Okay, so you walked all the way from Hampton over here.
Yep.
And then you didn't skip school for it or anything, right?
No, we did it on probably a weekend.
Okay.
I can remember walking, and you could actually have fallen between the railroad ties.
Because they were spaced out enough?
Yeah, I can remember looking down at the river and thinking, they had a 50-gallon barrel of water about halfway across the trestle. There was a little platform that stuck out from the railroad tracks and everything.
Yeah.
It was held up by a base here, and then there was
That tickled me.
a piece of timber going down like this to point below, so it didn't fall down.
Yeah.
And they kept it full of water, so if the train happened to come and the bridge got on fire, they had some water up there to help put the fire out.
And I guess that happened from sparks from the locomotives pretty often.
Yeah, I was thinking when we walked across it and we walked back again to get on the other side, if the train was coming, we were going to get onto the same platform that the 50-gallon water drum was on to keep us from getting hit with a train.
Yeah, because it was just single tracked all the way through.
Yeah.
That would have been a little scary.
Yeah, it was a little scary, but we enjoyed doing it.
I'll bet.
We were all, we've all belonged to the Hampton Boy Scout troop, all the people that I was walking with.
How many of them were you?
Oh, there was probably 4 or 5.
Okay. Fun
but
stuff.
I always remembered it because it was not too many of the parents would have liked to have known that we were walking across that trestle like that.
Probably not. Well, I remember you told Grammy Osmond about it one time. We went over after church, and I remember asking her, did you ever know he did that? She was already bedridden by then. She says, no, I never knew he did that.
Oh, boy.
Fun stuff.
It's amazing some of the things that you do.
Yeah, I got plenty of those myself.
When you're young, you don't worry about anything like that.
I suppose not.